Oh,
Brenton. What? You've gone through my entire kitchen, buddy. Why are you eating so much?
I've been watching so many movies, Nathan, and the food's just inspiring me to...
Brenton, you've literally eaten utensils as you've been doing this, buddy. You got to watch out for your health.
I'm trying.
Watch out. Don't you dare. And that was a literal representation of our podcast. Just a big pile of vom.
Before we hit the start, like we start recording, before we hit that button, I usually go for a cheeky vom.
Yeah, just gotta get all the shit out of me before I start saying
just,
even more shit.
Get all of that bad juju. Get ready to to record for you guys, to give you guys a good show here on Classic Movie Banter. You know, that podcast where we talk about movies that are 20 years or older.
20 years.
And we tell you whether they're worth watching or whether they're worth paying NASA to put those films, like those reels, in like an Apollo, in a
rocket launch,
lunar vehicle. Like you put it in a rocket, just shoot it up into space and land it on, like head towards Jupiter and just land it on an asteroid somewhere out there. And then so if it ever happens to return to Earth, the asteroid, you know that it's a shit film because it'll be the asteroid that fucking destroys Earth. So there's a nice...
That'd be great. We just like they send up like that disc made of gold to aliens so you can discover about human culture.
Totally. So when we look up and the last thing I'll see is an asteroid, and my thought will be, I know that Emerald City's on that.
I definitely know that Emerald City is on that. That bloody asteroid's going to make us Emerald City. Like, jeez.
But yeah, Today we're not reviewing a movie. So,
no, we're not.
We're not adding to that asteroid.
We're back at the bloody 7 seasons, mate. Spring has sprung in Australia. We're in a brand new season. I tell you what, I'm fucking done with winter. I'm so shitty over this cold weather. So like, Brenton, I need bloody flowers to bloom. That's what I need. I tell you what. How did you find this winter? Was it unbearable for you?
Hey, mate. You know what? It wasn't too bad. I gotta say, so I think I've mentioned this on the podcast before, but I was in New Zealand a little while ago.
Yeah. We know you're bloody traveling the world, Brenton, between your bloody podcast apps. Like,
hey man, settle down.
I gotta do something while you're gallivanting across.
We've
the
spoken
world.
on the podcast before that all I literally do is this podcast. So I gotta entertain myself somehow. You know what I mean? So in between, I go to various places and hang out, watch the films in hotel rooms, and then
you always
head back.
walk into my house with like your fucking souvenirs and your bloody shades on you in a Hawaiian shirt. I'm like, where were you this week, Brenton?
I come back and I get a mug from wherever I've been and I place it in your cupboard. Like it's like New Zealand, South Island. It's got a little stupid fucking logo on it. And I put it in there. And then I've also got a magnet, but it's like the same logos as the mugs on the magnet, and I just stick it on your fridge. Fantastic. And I say, deal with that, Nathan. Let's record.
Yeah, good job, buddy.
It's a waste of money, guys. Don't do it. Anyway, the point is, I was in New Zealand and I woke up one morning to go to Queenstown.
Mm-hmm.
And it was negative when I woke up. I believe it was like -5. I want to say.
Oh.
So it was brisk.
It was not pleasant, as it were.
It was, yeah. And it heated up a bit, but it heated up to like -2, I think it was, or -3. So it wasn't much of an improvement. But so my point is, after braving that, I can get through anything, buddy. Like this winter was a breeze. It was a summerly breeze that was just coming through. It was like
summer breeze makes me feel fine.
But it's not -4. You know what I'm saying?
Mate, I do know what you're saying. Bloody tell you what about those single digits. Brenton, if we're not talking about a movie today, then what the hell are we talking about? Why are we here? Why are we here, Brenton?
So this is the 7 seasons, and if you guys aren't familiar about these special episodes, the change of the seasons, Nathan and I decided to do something a little bit special, and that is that we do, a lot of other, shows, I think, do a lot of these top 10s where they name their top 10 films, or their top 10, actors, or their top 10 cinematographers, or, fuck off with that. We don't need that shit.
Fuck off with your list. We got a better list.
Fuck the number 10. You know what I'm all about?
What,
I'm all
Brenton?
about that number 7 action. You know what I'm saying?
Of course, mate.
So here on the 7 seasons, funnily enough, that name is given because we do a top 7 something
Of a topic that we just come up with mostly last minute.
And you know what? You know who usually comes up with these things? It's me. Like, this is what I contribute to the podcast, is this segment. And I hope you guys enjoy it, because if you don't, like let us know, because like I really feel for you if you have to put up with this shit like 4 times a year. You know what I'm
will
saying?
know, because they'll just stop listening. Like, although I do contend, buddy, that we've got a bloody hard act to follow, because our animals episode was a bloody good time.
I mean, it was a great time. It was some great insight into the animal. So this is what I mean. Like, you know, top 10 film lists, top 10 actors lists. Like, they're a dime a dozen. We try to challenge ourselves. You know, our last list was top 7 animals in film. Like,
so what are we doing today, bud?
Mate, let me tell you what I called you the other day, and I said, Nathan,
what's the good word?
We've got 7 seasons coming up, and you know what we're going a top 7 on? Top 7 pieces of food in film.
Yeah.
Now, Nathan, I want to elaborate on that, because that statement makes a million things run through your mind. Like,
food in movies. What a bizarre concept. Food and movies.
Guys, I hope you've experienced this, but having watched the amount of films that we've watched, I can name you films where there's been a scene, and the film isn't necessarily about food, but there's a scene where there's a dish that's featured, and I see that dish, and it just jumps out of the frame.
Like, oh, you're watching like Spy Kids 3D. You're like, oh, the food in this movie,
mate. It's just amazing. There's dishes that just make you instantly. They make your mouth water, and make you want to go out and try that dish. And sometimes it's not possible, because like how could anything ever live up to that dish in that particular film?
That's very true.
So this is the list that I've like. This is an ode to food and film and meals and film that we see and we just want. And you know the ones, guys. You know those. Remember when you were a kid and you saw something in film and you're like, Mom, I really want that now. And your mum was like, no, Brenton, go back to the dungeon. And you were like, okay.
You're getting your bloody PB&J, and you're like, fine, I'll settle for that.
Well, here in Australia, it's like, here, have your chocolate sand, your Milo, and bloody, be happy, boy.
I'd be happy with a Milo any day, mate.
Not when you want some of the things I'm about to list. But
here we go. So forewarning, please make sure you've eaten before this episode, because we're going to be talking about food in presumably a very lovingly, very, accurate, descriptive way. So we're going to make you hungry if you haven't had a meal. So if you're on your way home from work, then, I don't know, you're going to start biting some fingernails by the end of this episode, I tell you what.
Yeah, mate. Yes, mate.
In fact, Brenton, he might even start biting me. Well, I guess we're going to find out.
So here, sometimes on Classic Movie Banter, when we have to protect ourselves, we have like this little cage system. So you know how the pets have crates sometimes, like when you're training your dog, toilet training it, you have like a pet crate or whatever.
Of course.
If they need to travel.
I got one for you, mate. Like
yeah, that's what I mean. Like, I'm put in there sometimes because I just can't be trusted.
No, I get the SWAT team, they pounce on you, they chuck you in, like.
Yeah, mate. So let's get into it without further ado. So before we start the 7, we've got a few honourable mentions, I believe.
We do have some honourable mentions. Do you want to go through your 3 then my 3? Do you want
Yeah. I'll go through my 3.
All right. So what are your honourable mentions for the best food in movies?
So I'll start with a classic. This was one of the first points I remember as a kid seeing something in a film that made me taste buds tingle, and that's and it's the first animation on my list as well. There's 3 pieces of animation that are on the list. This is Lady and the Tramp.
Oh, I was going to go for this, but I thought, no, it's too obvious.
I know it's obvious, and that's why it's kind of in the honourable mentions, because it's,
This is good. I presume you're talking about the famous spag bowl, right?
Absolutely, mate. So meatballs and spaghetti. It's pretty awesome. Again, I'd say no more.
It's pretty good.
So
can dogs eat that? Because I know nothing about them. Like, can they actually eat meatballs?
I'm sure they could. Sure? I'm not sure if it's the best for them. Like,
do you reckon there's a viral video out there of real dogs actually doing that? Like, someone's forced 2 dogs to kiss?
Are you fucking kidding me? People, like, you should know this from our 7 seasons with the animals. People like doing some shit with animals.
Wait a minute! I'm an idiot. Disney's remaking a live-action Lady and the Tramp that comes out this year.
What are you talking about?
Did you not know this? Okay, so for Disney Plus, I completely forgot about this. So,
as in, like, television, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah. So for Disney's new streaming service, Disney Plus, a film that they're making for it is a live-action Lady and the Tramp. And I don't know if the dogs are CGI or actual real dogs. I think they're real dogs. So I don't know how they're going to do the kiss thing, but they're doing it. So even if this viral clip doesn't exist, we're going to get it this year.
There's so many issues with that I can think of, and the big glaring one is: do you reckon they'll do the Siamese cat?
Oh jeez,
the Siamese cat.
No,
scene
they're
in the film?
not. I think they've eliminated that song and they're doing something different with the characters because like. Goodness, that is so racist. That's like Mickey Rourke level racist. Like,
here's the thing though, because
Mickey
obviously
Rooney.
with this streaming service, we're finding out about Disney and them. This is a little bit of a tangent, but we're finding about this streaming service and Disney's bringing back like everything, all the movies to like watching this thing, all those classics. But there's films such as like Lady and the Tramp and the most obvious one I think, which is A Song of the South, which features.
Bob Iger definitely came out and he said we're not putting Song of the South on the service.
Did he actually?
He did, because they made that announcement like months back where they're like, we're going to add the whole Disney vault, and like everyone in the world's like, really, the whole vault? It's like you did some fucked up stuff back in the 40s, and then Bob Iger was like, oh yeah, that stuff we're not adding, but the rest of it we're going to add.
All that wholesome content we're adding, all that racial stuff, maybe not. Jeez. It's really interesting with Song of the South as well, because one of the most like famous. Going into another aspect of Disney, one of the most famous rides at Disneyland is Splash Mountain, Yeah. And it's such a popular ride, and yet it's based around this film. That's like...
It's just... Oh, it's a mess.
Got so many issues, I don't even want to get into it.
I don't think we'll ever need to do it for the podcast. People know not to watch it. Like
No. I don't want to. Like, there's nothing... Like, what do you say? Like, really? Like,
I know. What would we say?
What more is there to say? Exactly.
Yeah. But back to Lady and the Tramp. Have you ever tried to do that kiss in real life, Brenton?
Okay, I will admit that as a kid, as a young lad,
Here we go.
No, but like I would like do it with myself, if that makes sense. So you get two ends of the spaghetti.
It's just Brenton at home with his dog, and he's just like, all right, buddy, we're going to have to do it. And he's like,
you do it with yourself. So you get the two ends of the spaghetti, stick them in either side of your mouth, and you just go... And they'd like go all the way out of the barrel.
I thought you like duct tape the other into like a mirror or some shit like that, and you just like headbutt it. Like
Nathan, that just gave me ideas. I know what I'm doing after this episode.
Oh no, Brenton, sit back down. Not now.
Oh, sorry guys. Sorry, we've got an episode to do. Right, Nathan, what's your first honourable mention? Because we're gonna get to the 7 as well.
We do. My first honourable mention. Plot twist: all 3 of my honourable mentions are gonna come from Hogsmeade. And from...
Are you kidding me?
Yes.
Oh boy.
No,
all right.
So, oh, by the way, Brent and I do not let each other know what's on our lists before these episodes, so it's all live on Classic Movie Banter. Yeah. So there's a lot of treats you can get at Hogsmeade, but the first one has to be chocolate frogs. And the reason I want a chocolate frog is because I have had a chocolate frog in real life. Because I've been to the Orlando theme park and I've had the bloody chocolate frog. Now, Brenton, when you saw Philosopher's Stone, you saw a fucking live chocolate frog jumping about. Did you want to eat it?
No. If I'm being completely honest.
Well, that's the thing.
I can talk about other things in those films that I'd want to eat, but we'll get to that because I'll wait for your honourable mentions. But okay. Yeah, no. The chocolate frog was the one thing that I was like, you know what? Because in the film, I feel like in that first film when you see it jump out the window... It doesn't really have that texture of chocolate that is like...
Thank you. It's too thin, isn't it? It looks way too creamy. Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. It looks like something like Wonka would have invented like when he was stoned out of his mind. Just like, let's make a frog come to life. Like,
yeah.
It looks like an actual real frog they just coated in chocolate. So I'm like...
Totally. It doesn't look like chocolate. Yeah. Anyway.
No, but in real life, when you go to the theme park, I reckon the fucking chefs, when J.K. Rowling herself went to a bloody kitchen and she said, make me the shit I invented. And they're like, okay... I reckon they fucking fixed it. Because what they did, Brenton, when you have a real-life chocolate frog, you still get the wizard card and all that shit. But it's really fucking thick. Like, it's like the thickness... Imagine if you folded your thumb under your forefinger. It's around about that thick. I don't know how thick your hands are. But it's around about that thick of chocolate. And it's heavy. It's very heavy. And you got to really... You can't even bite it to crack it. Yeah, it's like one of those chocolates you have to, like, gnaw at. To kind of, like, and suck it down.
It's dense. Oh, yeah.
So because of that, that's what makes it an honorable mention. I'm like, the real life chocolate frog, it's a good time.
Awesome, dude. I'm proud of you. That's great.
What's your number 2, bud?
So my second honorable mention is actually another animation. It's the second animation, and that is it's not actually a piece of food, though. I'm classing it in the same. This is why it's an honorable mention as well. It's from the Polar Express, and it's that famous hot chocolate scene featuring that damn fine looking hot chocolate that just makes you want to sip down a cup of cocoa and just like have the best time. Have Tom Hanks singing you a song on the train. Have the tap dancers
weird
fucking
CGI
going off.
Tom Hanks.
Like, yeah, yum. Like that.
I completely forgot about that hot chocolate. That's good hot chocolate. Do
Dude,
you have a lot of hot chocolate in real life?
Nowadays I don't. As a kid, like, what a treat that was to get a hot chocolate. You know what I'm saying? We didn't have it often, but when you had it, you really savoured that. I remember the first time I had an Italian hot chocolate, and that shit was hardcore. That shit's
You weren't
like
even
drinking.
in Italy.
Just imagine if they melted that chocolate frog you were talking about before, that dense chocolate, that heavy chocolate.
It's trying to like jump out of the fucking pot because it's still alive, and it's just its body's melting.
Yeah, it's literally the Wicked Witch of the West from Wizard of Oz. It's just blobbing into the thing.
Jeez.
Live. Anyway,
The little frog's like, I'm melting.
Imagine that, like, as a drink, like that same denseness and that same rich, like that's an Italian hot chocolate. It's like drinking like molasses. It's like,
Jeez.
but it's chocolate. It's like good. And that definitely took us several years off my life, I got to say, drinking that thing. But the Polar Express looks a bit lighter in terms of that hot chocolate. It's a hot chocolate that you could drink like a liter of, and you'd still not know you'd had it, in theory. You know what I mean? It's that.
Are you a big fan of Polar Express? Because as a kid, I kind of liked it. Like, I thought it was fine.
You know what? I think I like it more and more as I get older. I think as a kid, I'm with you. I think as a kid, like, I was like, it was all right. But every time I watch it, I kind of get into it. I like that song they sing on the back of the train as they see the Northern Lights. That song's good.
That's right.
That's fucking
I remember
great.
there's a scene where, like, they have to, like, the train suddenly turns to a fucking roller coaster and just, like, goes right, like, vertically down at one point.
Yeah, dude. There's that scene where, like, they have to go over the ice. Like,
yeah, that's right. That shit's intense.
and so they're doing that thing and they're trying to, like, and it's total fucking bullshit. Like, any physics students out there will know.
Yeah.
Now, that train is not getting back on the tracks. Yeah. Anyway, but yeah, hot chocolate from Polar Express. Good times.
Fantastic. What a good time. All right. My number 2 honourable mention is also from Harry Potter. It's the Birdie Bots every flavour beans, Brenton.
Oh, yeah, that was what I was hoping you'd say, bro. Yeah.
Oh, mate.
That's the shit. That's what I want. You know what I mean? From Harry Potter land. I'm just like, ooh.
Oh, because I know you can get them outside Harry Potter land. I've seen other kids rock up with them. I remember at school, someone rocked up with Birdie Bots and they were so fucking popular. I tell you what, everyone's like, beans, and they're like, fuck yeah. Like, have you eaten them before, Brenton?
Dude, yeah, man. Yeah, I can understand why. Like,
Is there a flavour that stands out?
There's an apple one. There's an apple one that I fucking adore. Yeah, that gets
I remember
me going.
when I finally found the earwax bean, I was like, I did the quote from the book where it's like, alas, earwax. And just had a munch on it and I'm like, this is a good time.
And then you needed to fucking spit it out because it was disgusting and you were just like, oh.
Yeah, like I turned to the side, I'm like, excuse me, and I'm like, blah. But yeah, I remember, like, as a kid, like, there'd be kids who'd have, like, the vomit flavor ones or whatever, and I remember some kids would so overreact with Birdie Bots. They'd be like, this is the worst thing I've ever eaten. Alright. Anyways, at Birdie Bots, they're like, the bad flavors are bad. They're not that bad, you know what I mean?
Well, they're edible, you know what I mean? Like, you can
They
eat
are
them
edible.
and you
They're
can
literally
note,
edible. For
and you
legal
can note,
reasons.
you can note that tastes like shit and then move on with your day and hopefully get a good tasting bean.
No, I bloody love the beans. And then when I saw it in the... Also, for some reason, I don't know if you've played the Harry Potter video games, but the beans are the currency for every...
I know! Bizarre.
I don't know where that idea came from for some reason. Like, Harry Potter has an established currency, but they choose the beans.
Why the fuck are there like moldy, disgusting beans that are sat out in the sun all over the fucking grounds at Hogwarts? Those groundskeepers need to do their fucking job because and the janitors as well. It's disgusting.
What's Filch up to? And also, could you imagine, like, I remember at one point in the video game, you can buy like a broom that you fly on for like 1,000 beans or whatever. Could you imagine lugging around 1,000 fucking beans and you trade a fucking like Nimbus 2000 for 1,000 beans? Like, what are you gonna do with this? You gonna make a compost pile? Like...
And like the people that are like, you know, taking that as currency, what do? Do they have like a little cash register or a bean register that they
Is there like a Dow? Is there the NASDAQ and they like exchange beans for like galleons? Like,
oh dude, yeah. And then where do those beans go, you know? Like
where do the beans go? We're asking the hard questions on this podcast, Brenton.
Where the beans go.
What's your number 1, buddy, for the honourables?
My final honourable mention. These weren't in any particular order, by the way, but the final honourable mention is a film we spoke about a little while ago.
Ooh.
It's Pulp Fiction, boy. Now, if there's a movie that makes me want to eat a burger, it's this film. And it's a hard thing to talk about because there's two things.
Did
in
you
this
eat
movie.
a burger after Pulp?
I did, actually, yeah.
Did you Really?
Man, I love cheeseburgers. I love American cheeseburgers. I think, and it's
I
partly
know,
because
Brenton.
this
I
film,
mean, it's starting to show, frankly. Like
that big Kahuna burger that Samuel L. Jackson picks up at the start. You know, in that first scene, he picks it up. And dude, it just looks so tasty.
It does look pretty good.
Oh man, it gets me going. But the other thing as well that also gets me going is that line when John Travolta says, "There's a fucking good milkshake, man." He's all like high and shit, and he's like, that makes me want to have a milkshake and a burger, dude. Like Pulp Fiction,
what a combo,
dude. Like I just love that shit, man. And it is shit. Like it's terrible for you, but like,
where's the best cheeseburger you've had in your life? Like the best cheeseburger?
Oh man, that's hard.
Was it like grilled? Was it a gourmet burger place? Was it like a
dude?
Macca's thing?
It wasn't anywhere in Australia, and it certainly wasn't one of these chains. I feel like it was in the States somewhere. It was in LA actually, I think. And that was in 2007 that I was there. So it was a long time ago, and I can't actually remember what place it was, what joint it was, but I think it was a restaurant, and I got a cheeseburger.
You hope it's a restaurant, like some fucking side path.
But the thing is with burgers these days, here's
the thing, kids, about burgers.
In Australia, I feel like we don't get cheeseburgers the way they're meant to be done. We have all this other bullshit. Why the fuck?
I did take you to Betty's Burgers that time that they do it American style. Not Betty's, fucking Ben's Burgers. Remember we went to Ben's Burgers?
Oh yeah,
that time?
that was all right.
Yeah, that was American style. That was.
It was
good.
all right. Yeah, but again, it's still not hitting that high point. It's not hitting that. I don't know what it is.
There is something when you go over to the States, our American listeners will get around this, and they'll be like, it's like when Australians have coffee overseas, we're like, no, fuck the rest of the world, we do coffee how it should be done. Same thing with the Americans. It's like, we do burgers the way they're meant to be done.
Dude, I know exactly what you mean. The other film that could have taken this spot actually for burgers was actually Iron Man.
Oh, because he loves his cheeseburgers, doesn't he?
No, but before even spoilers, before Endgame and whatnot, and the reference in that to Iron Man 1, Iron Man 1 would literally every time, again, that burger scene, it's Burger King or whatever the hell he has. It just
it's pretty great because he
he
sees like Gwyneth Paltrow after like coming back from the dead, and she's like, "Oh, geez, Tony, what's going on?" He's like, "Right, I want to go to get a fucking cheeseburger," and she's like, "What?" And he's like,
call a press conference and get me an American cheeseburger. Burger first.
and you see him do the fucking press conference. He's like, all right, I'm going to stop making weapons of mass destruction. And he's just like scoffing this burger on the side.
Yeah, dude. He has two. He has two of them. He's eaten one in the car.
Just
and then he gets the second
down.
one out in the press conference. And the best part about it is that he gets out and Jeff Bridges goes, hey, man, did you get me one of those? And I'm thinking, hey, Robert Downey Jr., did you get me one of those? Like,
Jeff Bridges is just like secretly bitter for years that he never got given a cheeseburger. And it's even worse because later on that movie, he brings him a pizza. Remember when that's it. That's why he's so angry during the movie because he never got given a fucking cheeseburger. And then 2/3 through, when he stuns Iron Man on his couch, he brings him a pizza. And he's like, I even brought you food, motherfucker.
Yeah, it's repaying the debt. Hey Nathan, what's your third honorable mention? We got to get into
my third honorable mention. It's a liquid from Hogwarts. So I count it as food. It's liquid, and it has to be the iconic liquid from the Harry Potter universe. It's butterbeer.
Does it really look that good in the movies, though? Let's be honest. Look,
in the fucking Leaky Cauldron, there's always, for some reason, every time they go to the Leaky Cauldron in the Harry Potter movies, there's always that scenery shot where the camera pans and we see the whole fucking pub, and there's always some this dwarf or something like a barfly at the counter with a beer nearly the size of him. Look through it next time you watch
it's a huge tankard,
Yeah, and you always see it there, and I'm like, fuck yeah, butterbeer. What would magical beer taste like? And I'm like, and as a kid, I'm like, I'll get around some butterbeer. It's like beer but with butter. What a combo! And then I'm like, well, how is that magical? And so I finally when I went to Harry Potter World, I don't know, 5 years ago, they serve butterbeer, and I'm like, yeah, because in the books it's not alcoholic, but And in the theme park, it's not alcoholic either. That's the weird thing. Butterbeer isn't alcohol.
I don't know what, is that because of the process? It's got the same process of beer or something? Is it because there's fucking yeast? I don't know. I don't know what's going on. But my understanding is that if you go to Harry Potter World and you get some butterbeer, it's like butterscotch soft drink, right?
Yeah, and that's what I had when I was there at the fam. And I'm like, after years of waiting, I'm like, here's finally butterbeer. And I sipped it and I'm like, it's good, but I'm not going to get wildly drunk off this, so you're pointless.
Yeah. Well, it sounds fucking sweet as well. It sounds really sweet.
Weak.
Burn your throat like sugar.
Imagine if you're at a bar, Brenton, and you see some bartender boil you a beer, and they just plump in a cube of butter. as they're pouring you a beer. You're like, oh, probs not.
I kind of get it, though. This is a different thing, but it sounds kind of like it. So I had mead for the first time this past weekend, Nathan.
Oh, did you really? Oh,
I had some mead.
Of course you did.
Oh yeah, I went and like tasted some mead, and I ended
Were
up.
you on like a pirate ship? What?
Dude, mate. I bought this spiced.
Oh, you got around it.
Yeah, I bought this spiced mead. It was bloody good, but it's like because it's heated when you have it. It's warm. And it's not. I don't think it's not as sweet as this butterbeer that you're talking about. That's like overly sweet, but it sounds like that's what it should be. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I agree with you on that.
Nathan, let's get into the 7. Let's do it.
All right, all right, here we go. Top 7.
Do you want me to go, or do you want to go, or do you want me to go? I don't mind.
I wanna bloody establish a thing before we start, and I think I'll go first because I think I want you to wrap it up. I want to save you to last for your number 1.
Okay, sure.
But before we start, I want us to do a thing for the proper 7, where like now that we've got the honourable mentions out of the way, where when we finish discussing this bloody thing on each of our lists, I want us to give it an award, Brenton. Are you familiar with the Michelin star system?
I am. You can get 3 stars. It's hard work, yeah.
It's hard work. It's more hard work than the podcast, I tell you what. So what I want us to do, Brenton, is if we both concur that we would eat the food that we each suggest on our lists, we're going to give it a Banter Boys star that they can add next to their own Michelin stars.
Okay, I'm going to add a rule to that rule that you just stated.
I love it, mate. We're bloody Congress right now.
So there's 3 Michelin stars, right? And at the moment,
Yes.
they're saying there's 2 badges that you can get a Banter badge, so to speak.
Yes.
So here's the thing: if a piece of food gets 2 Banter badges, we can then have a discussion whether that film then earns a 3rd Banter badge. Right? And that's like a consecutive decision. So, but the thing with the 3rd Banter badge is that it's very rare, and it's only when it's just so overwhelmingly awesome that you have to give it.
All right, so we're going to make it rare. We're going to make it special if we're going to give it one.
Yeah, that's the one.
We don't just hand these things out like some...
Hey, we might go through each of our 7, and there might be no 3 Banter badges. Yep. So, Nathan, please, start us off.
All right, so my number 7 is from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, the 2005 version.
Right.
And it's not a popular option. It's not one you would immediately think when you think of this movie. People would think of the Chocolate River, people would think of the bubblegum or whatever it is. My favorite thing that I saw in this movie was when they're in the glass elevator and they're going about throughout the factory and they're going through all the fucking weird rooms. And there's a room where Willy Wonka has built a mountain, a literal mountain, out of Rocky Road. And his little Oompa Loompas are like clinging to the side of this mountain. You can't see the sky, it's that snowy. And they're chiseling out the Rocky Road from this mountain.
I remember the scene, yeah.
The first thing I thought of was that I want to eat this Rocky Road from this mountain. Do you agree?
I can't say I do it, and I'll tell you what. And I'm really sorry. I support your decision. Like, man, if that's the thing that got you about this movie, all the time. I love Rocky Road as well. I'm not the biggest fan of Rocky Road, though.
Of course, yeah.
But what I will say is that the reason that I don't fall head over heels over the Rocky Road mountain is that for me in that film, like visually, it just looks like a mountain. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If that makes sense. So it doesn't like draw me in. But like I said, if this is your list. You don't have to worry about what I think.
It's a mountain made of chocolate, Brenton. Imagine you're climbing a fucking mountain and you get hungry, you just chisel off some of the mountain.
Yeah, I'm hearing you, man. I'm hearing you. I like climbing mountains, and I don't mind Rocky Road, but that shot in the movie just didn't get me. It didn't get the sparks flying. You know what I mean? Just for me personally. But you, I'm glad to hear. But my question to you is, would you give it a badge?
Would I give it a badge, Brenton? Mate, I'm surprised Wonka doesn't open that shit up to tourists. There's so many questions. How the hell does he make a blizzard in his factory? How the hell does he fit a mountain in his factory? It's so impractical, and it looks as though the Oompa Loompas are barely clinging on as well. And when they chip it off, they don't put it anywhere. They just throw it off into the abyss. So but you know what? I don't care. I want to climb it.
Do you reckon that they're throwing it off and there's a huge basket system down the bottom of this mountain that's that we don't see, but it's just collecting it away?
Yeah. That's it. I don't know. That's why I want to climb it and eat it, Brenton. At the top, is there a marshmallow finish? I gotta know, Brenton. This only raises more questions.
Is the snow cream? I don't know. I don't know what it is.
Yeah. Because when they go past, Willy Wonka's nonchalantly looking at it and Charlie's whoa, a fucking mountain. And then they just keep on going through. I'm yeah, I want to know more about this, Brenton. This is my 7. and I'm giving it a badge. Giving it a Banter Boy.
Yeah, a badge. Well,
star.
can you write a note that Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, the Rocky Road Mountain, gets a badge? Hey, yeah, it's on. It's
One
on,
star from the boys.
Wonderful.
What's your number 7, mate?
I'm looking at my list because mine is in no particular order. The other thing I'll just point out as well, because some of our viewers might be confused, or listeners, this is an audio medium, people.
They're always confused, Brenton.
What I want to say is as well is that for the 7 seasons, the 20-year rule doesn't apply. So.
Oh yeah, sorry, we did forget to say that.
Yeah. All right. So, I'm looking at my list. Okay, I got a movie. For you.
I got a film.
We're talking Pirates of the Caribbean: The Curse of the Black Pearl.
Great.
Now, here's the thing about this movie. There is a scene which features a banquet, and it's on Barbossa's ship, and it's in the cabin's quarters, and there's this banquet that is presented to Elizabeth, played by Keira Knightley. And
yes.
It includes like a spit roasted pig, it looks like, I think. It's got like the apple in the mouth. There's all of this amazing decadent food. And that scene is mouth-watering, Nathan. It is incredible. And
that's right, yeah. That's when she like first comes on the ship, right?
Yeah, that's right. And then the scene features because she's starving. And he's like, you must be... pleasantries aren't required. You must be hungry.
Does
and
he like throw her an apple or something like that?
Well, he tries to get her to try the apple, and she's like, it's poison. But she grabs like a leg of this meat, and she like gnaws into it. She's grabbing like all this shit, and he's like, try this, try that, and she's like, oh yeah, and it's like,
and the monkey's just watching like.
Mate, she's just going at this food, and it's how I would probably be with that banquet. Like, pleasantries out the door, I want to feast, you know what I mean? That looks amazing.
Are you a big fan of that? You know in movies when like actors like are starving and they like monstrously eat through food? Are you a big fan of that?
That's a weird thing to be a fan of, first of all.
Wait, that's what I'm saying. Like, because whenever I see that in movies where you see like an actor like gross eat food, I always like, I don't need to see this.
Sometimes I've got a thing with people eating; it kind of grosses me out. But that scene.
We've heard, Brenton.
For some reason, that was just like, I was like, yeah, I can relate to that. The scenes like such as like The Social Networks, when there's a scene where like one of those twins is eating we're eating like this huge fucking burger, and it's like there's so much food in his mouth that he's like, and it's so big that he's like doing this huge shit. Like his mouth is still shut, but it's like, fuck off, like that's disgusting. But
yeah.
But this, for some reason, I can relate to it. And
I remember liking this feast, Brenton.
Yeah.
Would you do a Keira Knightley? Would you just eat it so messily if you were in that position?
Absolutely, yeah.
All right. Mate, I'll bloody join you on that feast. Barbossa's Kitchen, we will call it.
Yeah.
And we're giving it, a star each?
I'm tossing up whether to give it a star.
Oh, mate. Really? You wouldn't give it a star at all? I mean, I bet the hygiene standards wouldn't be good since it's a pirate ship.
Yeah. You know what? I'm not going to give it a star, but you feel free to give it a star. This is my
He's
list.
Got a live monkey in the room that he's eating food. It's just horrible
it's a bit
hygiene.
concerning. But look, my thing with it is that I'm not going to give it a star because these stars are rare, man. Like, they've got to be for the cream of the crop. So I'm going to go, that's a great scene and I'd feast on that pig, but man, it's not cooked in probably a well, like you said, like there's probably some bacteria on there. I don't know. Like,
yeah, who knows? Wouldn't trust food from a pirate. I trust the Rocky Road from Wonka, but not from Barbossa.
Okay, so are you giving it a star then?
Well, Wonka gets a star because it's Wonka. I mean,
okay, but does Barbossa get a badge?
No, Barbossa doesn't get a badge. Mate.
Sorry, guys, but like that's fine. Sorry. It's still on my list. I think it's up there. Nathan, your next piece of food.
Number 6. Okay, number 6. We're continuing with this little buffet string we're going along, Brenton. We're on a bloody yellow brick road going along this buffet trail. And I want to talk about a buffet for one of my favorite comedies. It's called 22 Jump Street.
Oh, okay.
And I'm talking about the buffet when Ice Cube, with his wife, Queen Latifah, goes out to meet their daughter's boyfriend, played by Jonah Hill, who's an undercover cop in 22 Jump Street. And at this family lunch, they discover that Jonah Hill's sleeping with his daughter. And Ice Cube freaks the fuck out. And so at this lunch, he proceeds to shout at the staff, and he proceeds to where the buffet is kept. and there's a bloody fruit bowl there. And my favorite line from this movie is that he grabs the food from the fruit bowl, and he turns to one of the waiters, and he's like, "Do you like fruit? I like fruit." And he like stuffs it all on his plate. Tell you what, looks like a good bowl of fruit.
So yours is the fruit. You think the fruit is the thing. Yeah.
Mine is the fruit. And also, just in general, the buffet looks fantastic.
Yeah, man. I agree. Like, this isn't on my list, but hey, I remember that scene well, and I remember seeing, I think it's like asparagus or something, or beans maybe, that is the features in the scene. Oh, it looks good, man.
Yeah, because normally at buffets, I don't know about you, Brenton, but at a buffet, I'm a carnivore. I normally go, fuck the fruit. I'm going to go for the meat, for the seafood. I'm going straight in for all
dude,
that.
you can't do that. There's some good veggie dishes. There's some good salads and stuff as well. Like, you got.
That's what I'm saying. And I'm saying this movie, Brenton, it made me 180. And I'm like, no, go for the fruit salad bar. Do that good shit.
Yeah, man. I'm with you. Like I want to give this a badge. You know, I didn't even bring this up.
I want to give it a badge too, because it looks like a nice restaurant.
It does. It looks bloody great. Yeah, especially, I think it's beans or asparagus or something that he gets in his plate as well. And it's like, that was the thing I think that got me from memory. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
fantastic.
the veggies.
So we're giving it
good.
2 Banter Boys badges?
Oh, mate, this is on 2. Yeah, 22 Jump Street. Who knew? I didn't know. Thanks for bringing it up, man.
All right, so Brenton, what is your number 6, buddy?
All right, mate. Okay, so I was trying to keep this hidden for a while because obvious reasons when I bring it up, but I think I have to bring it up at 6. Again, no particular order, but Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Hey, we're going back.
So the reason that the thing that really stood out to me from this movie, because I'm glad to hear that you loved the Rocky Road Mountain, like, that's wonderful, but it's not what springs to my mind when I think of this film. When I think of this film, the thing that would, like,
of all the foods,
and I'm a simpleton, Nathan, like, the thing that just really inspired me as a kid and it made me want this chocolate so bad was just the regular Wonka chocolate bar. Now, there's a few scenes where this features, such as when Augustus Gloop is eating it, like when he bites into the golden ticket.
Every time the TV crew comes to his house and he's like fucking covered in chocolate. Like,
there's a scene though that particular it's really showcased so well. There's a scene where Grandpa Joe and Charlie, and they open. It was like the middle of the night, and they open that bar together. He gives him the money and he runs off and he brings it back and it's like, Grandpa Joe, and it's like that horrible like shot of like that kind of jump scare where he's like, you hear the whisper of Grandpa Joe and then like he goes, oh, and like the camera like, like, do you remember that like hard cut? It was weird. It was like went black and then it was like, oh, he's awake. And the way that they unwrap this chocolate, they like do it like not looking at it. It's like, and then they go, let's look at it now. And then Grandpa Joe has this whole chocolate bar in his like spindly little fingers. And he flips it back and forth. And you see this chocolate bar and it just looks like the best fucking damn chocolate bar you've ever seen. Just normal milk chocolate, but just looking so damn fun. You know what I mean? It's just
it looks very hard as well. Like it looks like very like...
It looks perfect. Like it just looks like the perfect chocolate bar. Like... I wanted it so bad. And I remember at the time this film that they released a line, I think it was Nestle did it. They released this line of, I think it was like Wonka's Scrumdiddly
I remember
Umptious
this. You could buy the Wonka bars.
But it was like Scrumdiddly Umptious was the only one they had. And it was like these blocks that you could break off. And it was like a top hat. It was like a chocolate piece in the shape of a top hat. And do you remember this? And it was like...
I remember when the movie came out, you could buy golden tickets.
Yeah, that was it. But there was these bars that they had. They didn't have the bars, the ones I'm talking about from the film, which was just the regular bar. They had these other ones. And it was just like... They were good. Don't get me wrong. They were the best chocolate that was on the market at the time. If you wanted like that, like a chocolate bar, like the Wonka bars.
I don't think it was the best chocolate on the market,
Fuck
but
off,
still
it was.
bloody
Don't
good.
you remember? It had like fudge in it. It had like caramel.
Excuse me, Lindt is the best chocolate on the market.
Well, no. I'm talking about if you go into the store and you've got to choose between like a Cadbury Boost bar and a Wonka bar, you're going to choose the Wonka bar. You know what I mean? That's what I mean. I'm not... Lindt's
in that ultimatum,
Lindt's not on the 7-Eleven shelf. You know what I mean? Like, it's... that's what I mean. I mean, you're buying a Kit Kat... but you want the Wonka bar. And these things, obviously, they were like a timed exclusive thing. Like, they went away after a while. And they brought them back for a little bit, then they went away again. I wanted to bring them back because they were good. But the point is, the chocolate in the film, the regular chocolate bar, just looks so damn perfect. Like, it's perfect.
It does. I love that opening sequence as well, when you see how the bar gets wrapped.
Oh my God, it's amazing.
Over the opening credits. It's amazing. There's a point where like the bar like gets parachuted down onto the conveyor belt.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
That's my pick.
So so I guess you're giving it a badge.
Oh mate, I'm giving this a badge for sure.
100%. It's iconic. It's like it's chocolate. Like 100%. Oh, you know what? I wish bloody Christopher Lee had more of that chocolate. It would have made him a better father.
Cavities on a stick.
What else does he say? Like
caramels. I don't know. He's like caramels.
Oh, it's so good.
Lollipops, more like cavities on a stick. And that's like fucking hell. And then
he's so good in that movie.
He is. And then meanwhile, his kid's got a fucking torture device from Saw in its face, and it's just like, he's like, maybe I could have some chocolate.
When I was a kid in year 8, and I was told I had to get braces, I thought genuinely that's what braces were.
Well, Nathan, I'm glad you worked it out soon enough that you didn't have to have. You should have. Or tell you, your parents should have just requested headgear, like even if it just didn't do anything, just like this wire frame that went around your head.
I just come to school, just like.
Dude, can you believe that was a thing? Like people used to fucking do that.
Was that actually a thing? I thought it was just in the movie. Was this a real thing?
That would have been based. No, that's in like media all the time. Is like there's a period in history where braces were that. There was like
really,
yeah, it was fucked.
I genuinely thought that was just a movie thing.
I swear to God, because it features in like the Simpsons episode that features it.
That is fucked up.
Yeah, man.
That's so fucked up.
Hey, man.
Why would anyone think that's a good idea? Like straight teeth are not worth that.
When I inevitably have children and I make my own family, I'm gonna fuck with them and like you can like take them to the dentist and be like, can you give him like some headgear, like just attach it for a day and we'll come back tomorrow and I'm gonna take it off. My kids will listen to this episode and they'll be like, wait, I don't think we need this. I don't think we
like shut up, son, as I'm trying to like weld the thing on top of the kid's head.
The fun I will have in fatherhood. Anyway.
Oh jeez. Anyway, so you're giving it a badge.
I'm giving it a badge.
I'm gonna give it a badge. I think it's worth the 2 badges.
Do we think it's worth a 3rd?
It's iconic.
No, I don't think it is. Personally, I don't think it's worth the 3.
No, I agree. I think I want to save the 3 so far.
Oh, all right. So what's that?
It's bubbling, Brenton. The tension's bubbling.
There's another second 2 badges for a piece of food, which is the chocolate bar from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, the 2007 remake. Yeah.
Well done.
So Nathan, the 3rd one that is on your list of 7.
All right. So we're going up to number 1. So my number 5. All right. So this one is from a recent movie. It's from the highest grossing film of all time, Brenton. It's from Avengers Endgame.
Oh my God. All right, let's get into it.
And the food I chose from Avengers Endgame it's a random moment in the movie, but it sticks out of my mind because after I saw this movie, I got this food the next day because I'm like, I haven't had this in ages. But Ant-Man is chilling outside the Avengers headquarters and he's having a taco, Brenton.
Oh, dude, I knew you were going to bring out the tacos. Yeah.
He's pretty fucking happy with these tacos. He's like, you know what? I've had like 5 hours in the quantum realm. It's been a long time. I'm gonna have some bloody tacos. and then War Machine, Don Cheadle, he fucking like lands out of nowhere and like startles Paul Rudd. And then the ship lands, flyed by Nebula, but Karen Gillan, and the taco flies out of his hands and he looks very upset, but then bloody Hulk walks past. And Mark Ruffalo just hands him like 2 fresh new tacos and this like cheesy like happy rom-com music plays and like Paul Rudd just looks like the happiest man alive with his new tacos and I'm like, you know what, I want a taco now,
dude. I'm so happy for you. I'm so happy that this film inspired you to go buy some tacos the next day. Like I haven't had tacos in such a long time. That's what this list is for, man. I'm so happy for you.
It's about inspiration from movies. Yeah. And did you like the look of these tacos? They look like good tacos.
Okay, for me, I'm a taco guy. I bloody love tacos. I could,
All right, here we go.
I do love tacos, but for me,
I know you're pulling one out of your mouth right now.
The only thing wrong with this particular taco for me is that there's a bit too much lettuce in it, from memory.
Oh, it is very. That's why it's so easy to fly out of the hand.
I know. Because visually it looks good when it flies out, but I'm not a big lettuce guy in like wraps in sandwiches and in like shredded iceberg lettuce. It's just like it's okay, but if there's too much of it, it's too much of a feature in the dish, man. And I want some more of that wholesome. I want some of those I want those beans, that beef.
Yeah, you want that meaty shit. Man. Tell you what, are you a taco bloke who eats from the top or from the sides? Like, what do you do there?
Oh, dude, you can't eat it from the top. Like, are you talking like a hard shell taco, right?
I've seen people with hard shell tacos like go from the top.
Are they monsters? No. Like you have
maybe.
For me, it's like you got to go from the side, and it's like it's a particular skill you have. When
also
you do it.
Low on the side. You got to really scoop up that shit because it crumples very easy.
Yeah, man. You got to just get in there and just go from the side. Work your way from either side too. Like work your way to the center. Like if you want.
See, that's a smart move. A lot of people just go from one to the end. No, because it gets bigger in the center.
Exactly.
So you want to get rid of the short parts first.
Exactly. Oh, I love talking to you about tacos. We should go get some tacos sometime. We've never had tacos together. We should get some tacos
after this.
Oh
no, God. We haven't, Brenton. I tell you what, bucket list is there, right? Now, I don't know where Paul Rudd gets the tacos from, but wherever he gets a taco from, I think I'm debating if I should give it a badge because there's nothing too special about it. I just like that taco. Would you give it a badge?
I'm not giving it a badge, no, because of the lettuce thing I just said.
I don't think I'll give it a badge too. I like it. It made me want to get a taco, but I agree. I'm not giving it a badge.
Oh, there you go. Right. So number 5, because you're working your way down. So number 5 is the taco from Avengers Endgame. That's great. I'm so happy it inspired you to do that.
Thank you.
All right. So what have I done? So I've done. What have I done? So I've done Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, and I've done Pirates of the Caribbean. Okay. Harry Potter.
I know what to do with
and
you.
The Philosopher's Stone. I know just what to do with you. Okay, so here we go. There's another scene I could have chosen from a Harry Potter film, and I'll give it a quick mention, and that is from The Prisoner of Azkaban. That's the floating lollipop. Just looks fucking delicious every time I see it.
That's a damn good lollipop.
It looks like a damn good lollipop. Cavities on a stick. No, but the thing that gets me going in this movie, and it's got me going since I was a little kid. I'm not a wing guy. I'm not like, as in like chicken wings. I'm not a wing guy. I'm not really a drumstick guy either. Like getting a chicken leg and gnawing into it. I don't like greasy fingers. I don't like.
I know exactly where you're going with this.
Fuck off, like with it. Like, yeah, wings are cool, like, and they taste good, but it's like, fuck, I gotta pick it up and like.
Oh, but Brenton, the pub wings, they're so good. You know when you get like 10 wings for $10 or whatever.
I get it, but I can't because it's just gross. It's just like, it's all right, but it's like no, like it's just no. I don't want to touch it.
Oh, Brenton, that's okay. That's you, bud.
I want some utensils, and but this movie, man. Every time I see it, there is a shot when Ronald Weasley in the first banquet, which is amazing in itself. When you see the first banquet and the food appears, it's amazing. Harry's like, "Holy fuck! I've been starving my whole life, and now I get like decadent food and this like, you know, first day of school banquet." And special mention to the Halloween banquet as well, because that looks fucking delicious.
How are there not more obese kids at Hogwarts, considering they get banquets like every fucking night?
It's magic, man.
They just like unfat themselves, like jeez.
Yeah, they do like some. This is really dark.
Ron, just every fucking day, like he's just casting spells.
Hermione
himself,
performs like a magical like liposuction on him, like just like.
Oh jeez. And Harry casts a spell to show what Ron would have looked like if he hadn't been doing that for 3 years.
Oh my god. Yeah, he looks in like the mirror of Erised, but it's like, oh man. That's terrible. All right, but the point is
like a running gag. No, because at the end of Deathly Hallows, when we see Ron 19 years later, he's a little bit pudgy.
Yeah, I reckon he rebelled against Hermione. He was like, "You gotta stop doing this spell on me because it's hurting me, Hermione." Like, fucking hell, like, you know.
Ron's like, "I want to be obese, damn it."
He's like Nicholas Flamel. He's like, "Please let me age. Let me, like, you know, let my body go through its natural course." God, Hermione's the real villain of Harry Potter.
Yeah, she's a real fat shamer, just like stopping them all from choosing to be obese.
Oh my god! But the thing is, in the Philosopher's Stone, the shot that got me going was that there was a shot and it's the cheapest shot. It's like it's you can tell what they're going for. And Ron looks so happy when he's doing it. Rupert Grint. He's got a chicken wing in. Oh no, he's got chicken legs in each hand. I think that, you know, he's got drumsticks in each hand, and he takes a bite from one and he takes a bite from the other one, and then he has this little head bobble he does after he has like a bite from both of them. I don't know if you remember this scene. Do you remember this shot, Nathan?
No, I know what you're talking about. I remember this clearly.
They look good. Like, they look so good. They look so good. And he's so satisfied with it as well, Nathan.
He's just so happy.
And it makes me want to eat, like, you know.
Do you reckon his brothers, like, hyped him up for it? Because Bill and Percy and Fred and George, they all went to Hogwarts, and so for years they were telling Ron about these wings before his first year. Do you reckon?
I don't know. I think maybe. I think they're like, look, it's like a whole decadent thing and it's all out of this world. And I think it's more of I think it's more of a thing of excess for Ron. Like, so he's grown up in a family that's like, is a huge family. His mum's an amazing chef and is probably on the same level as the house elves, if not better. But the thing is, because you know, they're the lower middle class.
They have a magical world master chef, and it's Molly Weasley versus some local house elves.
No, but like, you know, Ron's lower middle class. Like, his family's like got a lot of kids, and so they got to feed them, and they struggle to feed them. So maybe there's not as an amount of food as Ron would love, because we know Ron likes to eat. So these drumsticks have appeared in front of him out of thin air, and there's like a platter that just keeps replenishing itself, and he just grabs two of them straight up, and he's like, unk, ugh, like in the.
He just scoffs it,
mate. They look good. That's all I'm saying.
It's a good time. But, like, it's hard for me to give a badge to the Hogwarts house elf staff because it's literally slavery.
So you're on Hermione's side in regards to spew.
I'm a part of spew, man.
Right.
I so agree with her in the spew identity.
Do
you remember like Drunk Winky from the books or whatever that elf's name is?
Yeah, I do remember.
Like Ron scoffing on a wing that like a drunk house elf had to like stumble across the room to like marinate. It's like,
sorry,
you know what I mean?
Sorry, I wasn't expecting that sentence to come out of you in this episode, but like continue.
Well, you bloody heard it, mate. It's like if we're talking about the health standards of Barbossa's ship, then we have to acknowledge that the
slave labor of the house elves. But here's the thing: like these are magic. Okay, these are magical creatures. I'm not taking your point. I'm just being the devil's advocate right now, Nathan. Don't judge. But okay, but the devil's advocate argument, I believe from the books, and correct me if I'm wrong because I'm not. That's not the thing from the books that like spits out in my mind. But the argument to that is that the house elves want to be there. Like this is like their dream job is like working in these kitchens, and like that this like it's a weird thing that Rowling's written. Now that I think about it.
Remember the first book? There's an anecdote where the house elves are the ones that have to like put away Fluffy.
Say that again.
Remember like
Yeah, I remember Fluffy. What are you saying? What are you talking about?
Remember in the first book, there's an anecdote where like Fluffy like breaks out of some shit like that, and the house elves have to like get the dog back into like the third corridor.
Really?
Yeah, it's a genuine thing. Like,
that's
like sure they get a
up.
cook.
Yeah.
Maybe it's like fucking ratatouille for them, but like outside the kitchen, they got other shit they got to do as well.
But in saying that as well, like the house elves' magic is like quite powerful. Like it's on a whole nother level of wizards as well. I think. Like so, look, like. But my understanding is, as magical creatures, like in this world, that these creatures like to serve. That's their thing, and I think like the idea I think Rowling's trying to get at is that there's these amazing magical creatures that are so powerful in these tiny frames. They're so powerful. They're so much more powerful than wizards to a certain extent. But they are kind of what makes them, I guess, nice or like there's no real. They're not a threat because they live to serve. Like it's this weird thing.
Yes, because they live to be subjugated by the man. It's
but I'm just being devil's advocate. So I don't know. But I know.
I can understand what you're saying.
I can respect.
Honestly, if I was to think of Harry Potter,
yep.
If I was to think of Harry Potter and the house elves and a food combo with those two, I would think about Dobby from Chamber of Secrets and the fucking floating cake.
Oh, yeah, looks good.
Now that's a fucking good cake.
Yeah. Hey, who knew that Petunia had those skills? You know what I mean? In terms of baking.
Is it Petunia? It must be Petunia.
It must be.
Yeah. That's that is incredible. That definitely changes my mind about that character.
It must be Petunia.
I don't know what Petunia's just an incredible cook.
Unless it could
Harry's still starved.
It could be Vernon. I mean,
that'd be amazing. Like the camera pans and he's in a fucking apron. Like, oh,
hey man, who knows? The drumsticks are my pick.
Are you gonna give Hogwarts a bloody badge?
I am, and I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna give him a badge because I think in terms of let's take this to a technical filmmaking perspective. I think obviously the shot's good, but I think like the color grading in that scene and with the drumsticks with like the warm light from the candles with Ron's red hair.
Oh my god!
It's just working for me in that shot. So yeah, I'm giving it a badge, mate.
All right. Well, on food grounds, I would love to, but purely on ethics, I simply can't, Brenton.
Okay, that's totally cool, man. I respect your decision. Spew, free the elves.
Free the elves, I'm all about it. All right, my number 4, Brenton. It's from an animated film, and it's from Despicable Me 2.
Oh, I haven't seen it, but continue.
Oh, have you not? Well, I'm going to describe it for you. The villain in Despicable Me 2, he runs a Mexican restaurant and he throws this huge party in it halfway through the movie. And you know the minions are there and they're all bloody. They're the fucking. Have you seen the first film?
No, I haven't seen any minions or Despicable Me.
Despicable Me?
Nah, man.
Mate, the first 2 are bloody good. Third one's a bit of a mixed bag, but first 2, great. Well, in that second movie, they go to this Mexican restaurant where the villain's lair is underneath it. And this Mexican party, one of the things you can buy there is a tortilla hat. So a full-on like bloody sombrero. So like a sombrero you can just wear. But it's made of corn chips. So the sombrero hat is made, it's a pure corn chip, one material. And in the little rim bit, it kind of has this like level up as the rim bit. So it's got a bit of a perimeter. And in it, there's a little like a crevasse and it's filled with guacamole. And what you do is that you break the hat apart of the chip and you dip it in the guac of the rim of your hat and then you eat it.
Ooh.
It looks outstanding. And I do not know why no one's done this in real life. Probably because they don't want hair in their chips. But it looks remarkable. I want that to be a thing so bad.
Nathan, that sounds amazing. It sounds disgusting to a certain degree as well. Like, can you imagine someone with dandruff with that shit on? Like, holy fuck.
Oh.
Like, oh no.
I know, that's probably why they haven't done that in real life. But a corn chip and guacamole hat from Despicable Me 2. What a good time, Brenton.
Okay, I will add to that, like, because obviously I haven't seen this film, so I don't really have much to say, but I will say, have you seen, like, those nacho bowls with, like, the edible bowls, like, where they've got, like, a tortilla or something, and they've deep fried it into a bowl, and they, like, you break the bowl apart. Dude, like, amazing. Some places do it, and it's, like, so you can break the bowl apart as you, oh, man, it's a good time. Good time as well.
All right, mate, I'm, for that Mexican restaurant, I will give that a Banter badge, because it's, you know, it's a good Mexican restaurant. I mean, yes, it is a supervillain layer underneath, but that doesn't really affect business. So, yes, it is a front, but they make good food.
Mate.
I'm giving it a star.
Mate, that sounds amazing. Like, I can't give it a star, unfortunately, because I wish I could. If I'd seen the film, I'd probably agree with you.
You don't know the
amazing.
food.
Yeah.
Watch Despicable Me 2. Great movie. Good movie.
I will, actually, yeah. Thanks for the suggestion. Let's talk
What's
about
yours?
another. So this is the only animated film that. Oh, mate! I lied at the start of this. There's 4 animations that feature on my list.
No.
So this is the third one of the 4. Sorry, I said 3 before, but there's 4. So this is the third of the 4.
I'm so scared you're gonna pick my animated pick, and I hope you don't.
No, I probably will. This will probably be it.
Oh,
We're talking the titular Ratatouille from Ratatouille.
oh, thank God! I avoided Ratatouille for this.
Oh, really?
I did. Go for it, mate.
Now, obviously,
it's your territory.
like, again, this is like Lady of the Tramp level. Well, actually, no, it's not, because Lady of the Tramp, I think, is probably more famous in terms of cinematic history.
The scene's iconic, but Ratatouille is first and foremost a food movie.
But the Ratatouille,
It's the food movie.
in Ratatouille, I have to confess, I've never eaten Ratatouille in my life.
Neither have I.
But I fucking want to because of this film. Like, I'm always just like, I want to go to Paris and I want to go somewhere and I want to have those veggies that are like made in that way so that I can taste that and get what that food critic gets when he has the flashback. But obviously I wouldn't have that flashback, but like have that amazing moment of just tasting something that was that good. But it's not only that, because the actual animation and how this thing's crafted and how it's served, it just looks like an amazing dish.
It really does.
And it's fucked up to say, but I can kind of imagine how it tastes, like, if that makes sense. like it's like I've thought about this to the extent, and my subconscious has dreamed about this to the extent that, like, I can taste a dish that I haven't tasted, and it probably doesn't taste what I think it tastes like, but I want to taste it because I want to know, Nathan. Like, it creates so many conflicts within me, but at the center of it is this adoration for this dish. That one is not, it's not even a real dish. Like, it's a real dish, but it's an animation. And, but I'm still obsessed with it that I want to try this thing, man.
It does look pretty. I mean, the whole movie is just littered with extraordinary food.
Totally.
Like, but I completely agree. I think what really sells it is the critics' reaction.
I actually think, for me, like, yes, like, that is like the emotional tie to it, but for me, what gets me wanting to try it is when it's being served to him, that last one, and you see, like, them, like, twisted around, so you see, like, the slices coming out and then the little drizzle on top. Like, it's amazing. It looks so fucking good. Oh, it's getting a badge, boy. It's gonna get a badge from me, personally.
Well, yeah. I mean, isn't that like restaurant an actual like Michelin star restaurant in the movie?
Yeah, I believe it's gone down, like, at the time, but, like...
Oh, that's right.
It's
gaining
its popularity again, thanks to Remy, or Passion, as some call him.
Yeah, that's right. No, I'd happily give my badge to that establishment. I mean, yes, it is run by a rat, so, you know, but, no, I think all that aside, you know, he's a passionate one.
Nathan,
so.
exactly. I was about to say, you took the words out of my mouth. He's a rat with passion.
So, no, I'll give it a bloody Banter badge as well.
So it's got 2, so does it get 3?
Ooh.
I don't think it does. Sorry.
I don't think it does either. I mean, we still haven't awarded it.
I haven't actually tasted the dish, and I don't know what it tastes like. It's just, I think it's really interesting that I get that,
it just doesn't feel right, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, man. But Ratatouille.
There you go.
Oof.
All right. My number 3 is from the Academy Award-winning film Suicide Squad. Brenton.
You're kidding. All right, keep going. I'm intrigued. I'm very intrigued now. Continue.
There we go. Mate, I love to pull in some bloody wild cards, and my top 3 are all bloody wild cards, I'll tell you that. So, you've seen Suicide Squad, right?
I have, yeah. I've seen it once.
Okay,
I saw it
brilliant.
once in cinemas, yeah, but continue.
That's all you need to do, Brenton. And the meal from this movie that that sticks out in my mind is there's a scene where Viola Davis...
Yes! Yes! Continue.
You know exactly what I'm talking about. There's a scene where Viola Davis is meeting with some bloody government official in some weird restaurant. She's hired out the whole restaurant. And she's sitting there with him. And she's like, and she's got these files with her. And she's introducing to the government all the different members of the Suicide Squad. She's like, here's your bloody Will Smith. Here's your Margot Robbie. Here's Joel Kinnaman. All that kind of stuff.
Here's a discount Australian Tom Hardy. Let's...
Yeah, here's your bloody Jai Courtney. So like, and she's going through all of it, and we get like, and we're not in the restaurant for long because we get these flashbacks to these like characters' biographies.
Please don't remind me. Just get to the good stuff.
We know what the scene is, but as she's doing all of this, she's been served this huge steak. Like it's massive. Like this is like a proper ribeye steak. Like it looks outstanding, but what even stands out more is the knife that she's been given to eat this steak, and it's like a bloody machete. It's huge.
You know me and my taste in food, and you know I've quoted this as saying that for me, nothing beats a piece of well cooked, amazing steak. You know what I mean? Like,
I agree.
It gets me going, and this steak's a good looking steak.
And the steak in this movie, Brenton, It looks perfect. It looks absolutely perfect.
It's the mix of the scene though as well. It's that amazing looking steak which just looks fantastic, and then it's like Viola Davis's like amazing like voice.
She's like violently chewing it. She's very aggressively eating the steak.
I'm not meaning to sound like sexual or anything here either, but like it's just like because I was like her voice. No, I'm saying because like it just makes me want to eat the fucking steak. Like it's that reaction that I get from watching this.
It's pure gluttony. You just look at it and you're like, this is extraordinary. And like, and you can see Viola's really enjoying it. And what's even funnier is that she's got this food, but the other guy isn't eating. So he's just watching her chew through the steak.
Dude, he's like the audience, like he's our gateway into the scene. We're watching him going, dude, I wish you were just there in the actual presence of this steak. And Viola Davis.
I want it, Brenton. I want it to make an appearance in the sequel. In the James Gunn movie, I want there to be another steak.
Oh, I do too. I forgot about that steak. You mentioned Suicide Squad, and I was thinking, what the fuck is in Suicide Squad? I was like, what? And then I remembered, I was like, there's the restaurant scene with Viola Davis and that steak. And I was like, mate. There is nothing like a good steak. There is nothing like it. Oh my gosh.
I respect vegetarians. I love vegetarians, but that meal for me, I just love.
Hey, Nathan, how do you have your steak cooked out of interest?
Oh, me personally? I normally have it medium rare, but I've actually kind of almost been leaning towards rare these days. Actually,
I'm with you. Oh.
Yeah, I know the more I age, Mr. Brenton, I actually do like my steaks a little bit lighter. Yeah. I like that you know.
You like the blood.
Do you concur?
Yeah, man. Nothing beats a steak. Whew.
So I think this restaurant, Brenton, I think it looks fine. I think it's a normal restaurant, so I'm happy to give it a Banter Boys star.
Me too, man. I'm happy. I'm so shocked that we're fucking praising Suicide Squad now. Oh my god.
It's got a good steak. I don't know if I'd give it... You know what? If I actually tried this steak, I'd even give it the third one because it looks so fucking perfect.
But, okay, here's the thing that's making me not want to give it a third star, is that it's in one of the worst scenes in the movie. Like, I agree. It's one of the worst scenes in the movie, so...
In one of the worst movies.
Yeah, so I just can't, man.
So purely on principle, we can't give it a third star.
Fuck, man, shit.
It's alright, we still got top of the list to go.
Yeah,
we've got some room.
I don't know if we're going to get a 3-star, to be honest. It'll be interesting.
Actually,
we might.
Oh, here we go.
So, okay, so I got to go into my top 3 because my top 3 are on another level completely to the last ones. These are the ones that are just like...
These are the molto bene.
That's what these 3 are. I don't even know where to start because I'm not doing it in a particular order. I'll leave the last one till last because it was the reason that I decided to make this list. But
the famous one, of course.
Okay, I'll get it. Okay. So the next one I'm going to mention it because I don't think you've seen it.
Oh,
it's from Jon Favreau's Chef. Okay.
Oh, you actually picked Jon Favreau's Chef. That's fantastic, Brenton.
I've seen this film once in my life, But sometimes
Is it good?
it's all right. Like sometimes, sometimes I will go and I will just watch this scene. I will just watch this scene. No, I'm not even kidding.
You won't.
I will YouTube this scene and I will watch it. And I'll watch it like 3 times in a row. No, I'm kidding you not. This film features the best looking toasted cheese toasty I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, great choice.
If I can convince anyone of our listeners to look up on, like, spoiler alert, it's a scene, it's not a big scene, it's literally a scene that's focused on him cooking a fucking toasty.
Should I use this as the still for the YouTube video, Brenton?
Oh my gosh, you definitely should. I was thinking of like what stills this thing, and this there's a shot of this where it's kind of on the grill and it's like he's just kind of put it there and it's just fine, like it's finally just melting and it just looks so good and you're just like, oh.
Actually, as you're saying this, Brenton, I'm going to look this shit up. Wait, here we go. I'm going to type in chef. Then I'm going to type in 2014. And then what is it? Just cheese toasty?
That's the one.
Oh my god. Okay, so I'm on YouTube and the first thing says grilled cheese scene with Jon Favreau. This is very exciting. Okay, I'm watching a scene now, Brenton, of Jon Favreau. He's bloody cooking. Okay, he's making the cheese toasty. Oh, it's very intricate. Like he's like rubbing it in like oil.
Yeah, man. Just wait.
Here we go. Okay, no, he's buttering it up. Oh, he's put it on a plate. Here we go. Oh my god. Okay, no, I'm on the freeze frame now. Good lord, that is a good cheese toasty.
Holy shit, man. Holy shit. And I kid you not, every time I do it, it makes me feel like one, and then I go make one. I make one every time. And this thought, it'll just come into my mind. I'll be like, that scene from Chef. And then I'll watch it and I'll be like, cheese toasty. And I don't have like the
You'll wake up in the middle of the night. You'll leap out of bed.
Dude, it's so delicate how he does it. Like, you got to watch the whole scene. He's like 3 cheeses or something. And then he's just like, and he puts a bit more.
I was skimming through it then. Like, he's really applying it.
Oh my fucking God. It's like, it looks like an orgasm in your mouth. Like I can't think of any other way to describe it. It's just like.
Oh, perfect.
God.
Mate.
Anyway, yeah.
For Jon Favreau's restaurant, I'm happy to give that a Banter badge.
Holy shit, you haven't seen it. Like, we've seen it, but like, you're going to give it a badge?
Yeah, I've never seen it, but just from seeing that one scene, it's Jon Favreau.
Yeah,
he's a chef.
Man, badge for me as well. Holy.
Is it a 3rd star worthy? Like, how good is his restaurant in the movie?
I think it is, but you haven't seen the film.
I haven't seen the film, so I can't.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I would give it a
Brenton.
3rd star, yeah. Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
All right. Well, we gave it a 2, so Jon Favreau can be happy with that. Also, there's billions of dollars that he's probably earned from Disney, but that's okay.
Yeah. Nasa Gwenya, am I right?
Oh, yeah. Watch out. My number 2. Now, we made this list as the top 7 food in movies. We didn't include the adjective best. And so I use that to my advantage, Brenton, because this next food I'm going to mention is not a food I would want to eat, but it's in my top list because of the function that it serves, Brenton, okay? So, this food, as my number 2, it's from the movie Matilda.
Oh! Okay, continue.
And there's only one piece of food from the movie Matilda that you would immediately spring to mind.
Well, you just heard my reaction, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my gosh.
Everyone knows what it is if you've seen that movie. It's the cake. It's the cake that this poor boy who gets into trouble. I don't know if you've seen Matilda, but it's about. Anyway, it doesn't matter. You're in primary school, and one of the boys in this primary school has broken a rule. So as punishment, and he's a very large kid, he has to sit on a stage in front of the whole fucking school and eat a cake made by this demonic chef, this woman who crafted this huge chocolate mud cake. But it's explicitly stated that she used like blood and sweat and tears to make the cake. And there's like oil in it. Like, it's horrendous. Like, you're disgusted by it, Brenton.
I was about to say disgusting.
It is, and you watch this kid chew through this cake, and he eats the whole fucking thing, and it's disgusting. And this thing goes for like 5 minutes, and you feel, and as a child especially, you feel physically repulsed by it. Like, you look at the cake, it doesn't look like a good cake. It just looks sweaty and thick and just all sorts of yuck. And the reason I included this cake on as number 2 on my list is because this cake stopped me from eating cake for 2 years.
Are you serious?
I am so serious. At birthday parties, I would not have a slice. At my own birthday parties, I would not have a slice. At like functions or whenever a cake was presented, I would not have a slice. For 2 years, I would not do it until I finally came around and gone, this is ridiculous, I miss cake. And I went back. But in those 2 years, I was so much better for it, Brenton.
Nathan, I have a confession to make.
Okay, please confess. You're in a safe space.
Okay, so this film isn't on my list because it didn't spring to mind, but when I watched this as a kid, and I would have moments like this as a kid, I had the opposite reaction to this cake.
Oh my goodness, you didn't.
I did. I wanted, like, I didn't want this cake.
You want?
Whoa.
Did you not see the kid's expression when he was eating it?
Whoa. I know. But this film made me want to have good cake. So it was like, it was like so bad. But I was like imagining in that scene, I was like, imagine. And so I would literally do this. Sometimes there'd be like, do you remember like Coles and Woolies, like chocolate cakes? Like those
iconic mud cake for $2 at Coles. Yeah, of course.
Dude, I would sometimes get a slice of that shit.
No, you wouldn't.
And pretend I was in the Matilda.
No, you wouldn't.
I'm not even joking. That was a thing.
You are fucking with me. No, you're not.
No, I'm not fucking with you. That is true. It's so funny you brought that up. Because
your mother just walks past the kitchen and she sees you crying on top of this slice of cake. She's like, dude, what's wrong, Brenton?
I would have so much fun doing it. And like that cake's amazing. And I was always like, oh my God, dude. But cake's so good. And that film made me want good chocolate cake, like good chocolate mud cake. And I'd imagine like a big chunky slice of that cake if it was like amazing and delicate and then I'd pretend to eat it and be like, oh yeah. It was so weird. I was a weird child. But
oh my God.
But yeah, hey man, that's my experience with it.
I love that from this one scene, it did literally the opposite for you and me. Like, I know. You had more and I had nothing.
I know. How hilarious! I can't believe it put you off for 2 years. That's fucked, man.
It did. Seriously, and it was like roughly 2 years. It wasn't exactly 2 years, but it was like there was a point where 2 years on, I was like, this is ridiculous. I think it was like some kid's birthday party. I'm like, look, it's obviously not going to be like the one from the movie. Not all cakes are like this. I'm going to go back, and then I've been bloody having cake since.
I'm so happy for you. I'm so happy you came back to the light side of the force and decided to have some cake.
Cheers, mate. Look, and you know what? I'm not giving this school chef any stars from what it did, but I wanted to mention it, Brent.
Okay, well, I'm going to give it 1 badge.
Oh, you piece of shit.
I am. I'm going to give it 1 badge because
you motherfucker.
I have good memories associated with that, man. So I got to give it a badge.
Fuck you.
So
Brenton.
1 badge.
Go to your number 2.
1 badge to Matilda. So okay, all right. I don't know how to even bring this one up because this piece of food does things to me, man. This is another one that I'll look up the scene, and it's a great scene. Don't get me wrong. There's so many things going on in this scene.
Oh, I bet.
But sometimes I'll just look at this piece of food in the scene, and I'll be like, "Oh my God, get in my belly." You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about Inglourious Bastards, and I'm talking about the strudel scene.
Oh my goodness, I was very close to adding this on my list too.
Holy shit! This scene, holy shit, because of what's going on.
That's 2 Tarantino films, Brenton.
One was an honourable mention, and that's the reason it was an honourable mention. Otherwise, I probably would have gone to this because I love burgers. But this is a whole new level. This strudel looks absolutely incredible.
It looks godlike.
It is godlike. It comes out. It comes out. And
food of the gods.
It's served. You get a nice close up on it, and then she goes to get a little. Again, they're eating with the little dessert forks as well. And he says, I want it so bad. And because I love those dessert forks. I sound like a psycho. Anyway, and so she goes get it, and he's like, wait. You gotta wait for the cream. And then the waiter comes back with a bowl of whipped cream, and he gets this perfect scoop, and then it goes to this close up, and he just dollops it on. Oh my God! Oh my God! It's incredible. It looks so good. Oh my!
You can't see this from where you're listening, but Brenton's literally just falling off his chair.
I'm in the fetal position currently. It is just. It is.
It's like, Brenton, we're almost done. Stay with us.
I have tears in my eyes right now. It is so amazing. This strudel, and
I can just make it go away.
It's just perfect. It's so perfect. The perfect shot, the perfect, the way it's just and Tarantino knows. He gives it a few shots, obviously for...
the man knows what he's doing.
Obviously for reasons aside from the fucking strudel, but it looks so good. And then the way that Christoph eats it. Like, he eats it. And, like, I know that he puts the cigarette in it at the end, and that's great or whatever. But, like, I would not... You would polish that thing off. But the way he eats, he goes... Dump. And you can, like, hear him, like, eating it and, like, enjoying it. And I'm just like, Christoph, I wish... That sounds bad.
I wish I was you.
I wish I was the God. No, I wish I was the Jew hunter in Inglourious Bastards. No. But my point is, I wish I was there eating that strudel. Not there. Like, I wish that I was sitting here right now.
I hear you, Brenton.
And Christoph Waltz, the actor, walked in, and Willem Dafoe followed him in, and they both had... They both had a plate of strudel, and they put it down in front of us, and they sat down with us, and we were all sat here, the four of us, and we chatted about how amazing, the Green Goblin is. And we just, we moved on with our lives and had that strudel, and I'd die a happy man. That's all I got to say.
That'd be amazing. Okay, if we're going to mention Willem Dafoe, Brenton, I should have put this in the honourable mentions, but if we have to mention Willem Dafoe and a piece of food, I think we should just give a quick shout out right now to the Parker family dinner, the family lunch.
Him sharpening that carving knife, and and when he grabs it with his fingers, and she's like, and like whacks him, like,
and Willem Dafoe looks so angry.
Like, puts his fingers in his mouth, and he like licks his fingers, and it looks good, that roast too, and he just starts carving the knife, like, and like, what's funny about that scene is that Aunt May is not like fucking freaked out by the man holding a fucking huge carving knife that's looking at her like she's a piece of meat, and he's carving, and he's like,
jeez,
and she's like, good, you learned your lesson. That's like, bitch, like, that's the one point, like, in all the films, that's the one time I'm just like, what the fuck's your problem, lady? Like, just like, because he goes to, like, oh, like, he's like, oh, yeah. But granted, what he does is shitty as well. Like, he goes to touch us. Like, who the fuck does that? Just wait and, like...
But the nerve to whack his hands away. It's like, use your words, woman.
That's the thing, like, Norman, like, that's a bit, but she's like, she physically...
It's just so insulting. I can't imagine anyone in real life genuinely whacking a hand away. And I imagine she doesn't know Willem Dafoe that well by that point as well. Like, she wouldn't have been hanging out with Norman Osborn that much. So it's just so rude.
So what we've learned from the original Spider-Man is that, think of Norman Osborn and, feel sorry for him. And that bitch, May Parker, fucking hell.
May Parker. Tell you what a monster. Oh. But going back to the strudel, would you give it a bloody star, Brenton?
Mate, I'm giving this a star. For sure.
Oh, the Banter Boys badge. We're plucking it on. I'm giving it a star too, Brenton. I think that would be a fine establishment. I mean, it was probably run by Nazis, so it does make it a little bit ethical. But I tell you what, they make a good strudel, Brenton.
Nathan, here's the thing. I am putting up 2 hands to vote for this for 3 stars.
Ooh.
I think
it is a world-class strudel.
Oh my god.
Jesus, all right, calm down, mate. We're near the home stretch.
Oh my god.
Brenton, please.
We're gonna stop the episode.
There are children listening to probably not. Do we want to give it 3 stars? Yeah, I can't imagine the restaurant being any better. Obviously, apart from the fact it's hosted by Nazis. So, like... To
be fair, in this film as well, Hitler's face is shot to pieces as 2 Jewish Americans run in with machine guns and, like, torture the guy. So,
You know what? We're not here to judge the movie. We're here to judge just the food, and on the food alone, we should base our stars. So, on that strudel...
We've not followed that rule yet, but yes, let's continue.
We haven't done it once. We haven't done it once.
But we're excusing the Nazis and the Inglourious Bastards and giving this three badges, I presume.
I'm happy to give it 3 badges.
Yeah, man, it's too good. Hey, give it a round of applause, ladies.
Well done,
Nathan. When you edit this, can you please put in a rousing applause sound effect? Hey,
done.
Yeah.
All right, wait. Let's just pause right now and I'll put it in. All right, here's your bloody pause. Ready? Here we go. Listen to that, Brenton. Listen to that crowd. They're going wild, Brenton.
Oh my god, I want it so badly. It's so bad.
Oh my god, I'm just going to get that audio clip and just use it on so many occasions now.
No.
Okay, my number 1, Brenton. My favorite food out of everything, out of all the movies that I have seen so far, there's one meal that sticks out. And I guessed it immediately. I knew the second you pitched this to us, I said, I have to say this meal. It's an animated film, Brenton.
Oh my gosh, what is it?
It's from The Emperor's New Groove.
Oh my gosh! All right, you continue. And I know what it is straight away.
This is This is my favorite meal for so many. There are so many reasons. I'm going to list a couple here. It's the spinach puffs.
Of course. You have got good taste, my friend. You.
Thank you.
Oh, well done.
Thank you, Brenton. Because there's a scene. Obviously, Emperor's New Groove is arguably one of the best Disney films ever made, and there's a scene where Kronk, the sidekick to the main antagonist, Yzma, they're in this palace, the Emperor's palace in the Aztec empire, and they're trying to poison the current emperor Cusco. So they invite him over for dinner, and Kronk cooks these spinach puffs for Yzma and Cusco as having dinner, and Yzma's just been fired as the advisor to the emperor, so there's this very awkward small talk that goes between Cusco and Yzma. And as this is going on, Kronk is trying to put the poison in their drinks, and he's fucking it up. And he has to pour it onto a fucking vase and mix it all back in. But as this is happening, he realizes that he's left the kitchen too long, and he sniffs his nose and he goes, "Oh, my spinach puffs!" And he darts back into the kitchen. And he rescues them, and they come on out, and they all eat these bloody spinach puffs. Now, this movie, Brenton, it inspired my sister and I as children to make spinach puffs. We made this as children.
I love that.
Because we're this in the animated film, it looks amazing. And every time we cook them, we've cooked them for years, and every time we do it, no matter what the cooking status of them are, we always shout in the kitchen, "Oh, my spinach puffs," and we dart towards the oven.
That's so funny, dude. I love that. That's like a little sibling, kind of in-joke you guys have.
So when I hear spinach puffs, I think of my sister and the years that we spent making this meal based off Emperor's New Groove.
That's lovely.
And it's my favorite food. It's my favorite food. It makes me think of family. Isn't it
great how food just brings people together?
It just does. But Brenton, podcasts, they also bring people together.
And films as well, And,
mate, we're in unity right now, I tell you what.
I know exactly what you mean. Mate, I've got to tell my story now about that.
Oh, wait, back up. Before we go into your number one,
No. I need to continue about the spinach puffs.
Oh, sorry. No,
because
please
I
keep
want to
building
elaborate on the spinach puffs as well, because great choice. It wasn't on my list because simply it didn't spring to mind. But so the Emperor's New Groove and the spinach puffs inspired me to... I love, and this inspired my love, for spinach and feta... triangles? What are they called? The pastries?
Oh, yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
I started eating those because I saw one at a bakery, a couple days after I saw Emperor's New Groove in cinemas. And I said, spinach puff. And I started eating these things, and I fucking love them. They're so
They're great,
good.
aren't they?
Oh, my God. I love that it inspired you to take the step further and start making a spinach puff yourself. That's a whole new level. And it's amazing. But I agree, dude. I think the way it's animated again, it's so simple, but God, they look good. They look so damn good. Good on you, Kronk. You're a good chef. Amazing. You're a great chef.
Now let's talk about the number of badges, because obviously we both got to give Kronk a badge for the level of puffs, right?
I agree.
Now, would we give the Emperor's Palace Kitchen, which I assume he's making this in, will we give it that third
Well, Nathan,
star?
this is a film where we've both actually had a intense experience with it, in the sense of we've both walked away, and it's inspired us to eat some spinach. So I feel like it deserves a 3-star.
I agree, Brenton. And you know what? We're bloody giving it. We're giving it the 3 stars.
Hey, put in that clapping sound effect again, Nathan.
There they are. Listen to it, Brenton. The crowd's back. I've invited an entire stadium worth of audience into my bedroom here. Woo! I don't know how the fuck they're going to get out, but here we are. Oh, God,
SWAT team, go to work. Come on, guys, get them out. Herd them out. Let's go. Nathan, I'm so happy. I'm so happy that a film we've both suggested, a piece of food, has got 3 badges. 3 Banter Badges. But, Nathan, there's one more that we got to talk about.
Here we go. The creme de la creme.
So I left this to last, not necessarily because it's the best, even though it could be the best, but because it's the reason this inspired this episode. This
is the reason we're doing this episode. Your mystery number one.
I'm sure you're gonna hear this, and you'll either have a reaction and you'll agree, or you go, "That was it. That was the instigating factor." I'll tell you what it was. I was having a conversation with a friend a few weeks back, and a couple of weeks back actually, and we were talking about we're talking about food, obviously. Like, we're talking about breakfast and whatnot, and like how good breakfast looks on social media. Like, and like, you know, cafes have got Instagram pages, and you see their like avocado smashes, you see their poached
They're putting
eggs,
in all the effort.
you know, but it always looks delicate. And then I was telling this friend, I was like, you know, we've got such a plethora of like, you know, because when you go to a restaurant, like instead of looking at the menu, you can look up on your Instagram thing and see like which of the meals looks the best and which one you think you'd want to eat. It's a great thing. This friend said to me, oh, mate, like, one of the things that, like, the breakfast I still haven't had that I want to have is, like, this particular breakfast from this film. And I've thought about it, and I was like, I couldn't agree more, because every time I watch this movie, and I love this movie, I think about this breakfast, man. And it just looks so damn tasty. It's an animation, my friend. It's funny that we both finished on animations.
Classic.
Movie banter. It is, it's from Howl's Moving Castle.
Ah! Oh my... This was it?
This is something...
This
There's
was the
something
reason?
incredible about anime and the way that they animate their breakfast and the delicacy and the intensity that they manage to put into these finely drawn images. Now...
This was it?
If you don't remember, my friend, there's a scene in Howl's Moving Castle when there is... Breakfast is cooked for Hal, and then Hal kind of takes over in the scene, I believe, from memory. But Billy Crystal in the English version is playing the flame that is cooking the eggs and whatnot. And Hal, gingerly, he just cracks the eggs and he puts them in the frying pan. It's like, oh my god, they're frying them. And he throws the eggshells into Billy Crystal's flaming mouth, and he's like, as he eats them. And then they throw some rashes of bacon on as well. And when this thing is done, and when this thing is in the pan, it looks magic. Nathan, that is why I chose Howl's Moving Castle, because it was the thing that really inspired this list, but it's also, it's a breakfast item and it's animated, and again, it has that, it makes me feel like I can smell the eggs. It makes me feel like I can taste the bacon. And it
makes you feel like bacon.
Like, it makes you hungry too when I watch it. I'm just like, fuck, I want some bacon and eggs. And I'm not a big bacon guy, but that bacon looks good. You know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean. I love the meal in this movie. Like, it did stand out. I remember watching it going like, this looks like a damn good brekkie. I don't know how much I'd trust it though, because it's made by literal fire.
Yeah. Yeah, and a guy that's like Hal's like, it's made by like I think she's like 16 or something in the film, but she's like in the body of an old grandma, and it's made by a dude that's right. Like transforms into this weird bird thing sometimes as well. So, you know, there might be a few feathers in there. I'm not sure, but hey, look. I'm giving this a badge because I think Studio Ghibli and the way that they...
Brenton, I think you chose well.
Thank you, Nathan. I appreciate it. I think the way that they animate their food.
No, I think anime does a great job with food. I completely get around that.
Yeah.
Would you give Howl's Castle itself a Banter Boys badge?
As in this particular breakfast?
Well, this breakfast. So you're in the bloody castle and the moving castle.
Yep.
And we're two food critics. And we have our Banter Boys badges. Would we give it to this meal in this establishment?
Mate, if it tastes as good as it looks, absolutely.
Yeah, I'd give it a badge. I think it's simple, but I think it does a job.
Okay, well, does it deserve 3? I'm not sure if it deserves 3.
I don't think it does. I think considering how fucking messy the castle is, like, it's a plot point in the movie of how messy that castle is.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you. I don't think it deserves 3. It's not the strudel. It's not the spinach puffs.
No.
I think let's make it special. 2 stars is still an amazing achievement.
Yeah, I would be proud as a restaurant owner with 2 Banter Boys badges. Yeah. 2 of them.
Nathan,
so Brenton,
that's
there you go. What a bloody food tour we've been on today. I'm so happy we've had so much of these different foods, and I tell you what, I said I wasn't going to get hungry from this episode. I'm now very hungry from this episode.
Nathan, I said I wasn't going to get emotional, and yet here I am, like, in tears. Like, it was just too much for me to handle. But Nathan, I want you to cook me some spinach puffs. Like, you must have gotten good. Like,
I can do a good job. So tell you what, we'll finish the podcast. I'll go downstairs. I'll make you some spinach puffs.
Sounds beautiful. Speaking of finishing the podcast, guys, I'm so sorry you had to listen to this shit. Like,
we're so sorry you're subscribed. We're so sorry we exist.
Like honestly, like this has been a trek, but this has been like personally for me one of the most enjoyable episodes I think we've done of classic movie banter. Like, and certainly seasonal sevens. I mean, there's no animals in the sense of the craziness, the zaniness, and the pure insanity of that episode.
No, but I'm so glad we've acknowledged some great food.
And there was some passion in this episode, man. There was some pure passion from us.
Lots of passion. It's what food inspires, Brenton.
Oh, Nathan, I am inspired now to try some of these dishes again, and to keep, as always, looking for like some amazing food in some incredible films. You know, some great food moments.
And please, like listeners, like let us know your favorites. I'm sure we missed so much of the great food that's in cinema. So please, like, email us, tweet at us, let us know what was your favorite food watching movies growing up.
Yeah, please. You can, as always, guys, you can find us on the old SoundCloud. You can find us on the new YouTube, and you can even find us on the podcast app. Not iTunes anymore, that podcast app. We are Classic Movie Banter. Please tweet at us, send us an email, just get in contact. Tell us what you think of the strudel and the spinach puffs and other assorted food items. You know, we'd love to hear.
Absolutely.
Well,
Fantastic.
Nathan, now that that's all done, it's got me hungry, so I think I'm just going to go back to this pile of food and forks and...
All right, Brenton, fine. All right, we'll have a quick cup of coffee, but then you take him out of town and finish the job.
Oh, spinach pups.
Quick, grab him.